lot of people come up to me and ask, Charlie, what's the secret to your and Warren Buffett's success? Is it because you're just incredibly smart? They hear my IQ is somewhere around 160 and think they found the answer. Let me tell you, that's just a load of crap. That making money and living a good life were simply a game of IQ. The richest people in the world would all be physics professors. But that's obviously not the case. IQ is like horsepower in a car. You floor the gas pedal, but you're aimed straight at a cliff. More horsepower just means you die faster. The reason Warren and I are sitting where we are today isn't because we know how to be geniuses. It's because we have been consistently, relentlessly trying to not be idiots. It sounds like a joke, but it's the most central creed of my life. It comes from my favorite way of thinking, which I call inversion. If you want to succeed, the first thing you should study isn't success, it's failure. If you want to figure out how to be happy, you should first make a list of everything that leads to misery, and then diligently avoid all of it. The old farmer said, all I want to know is where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there. You young folks are living in an era swamped by get-rich-quick schemes and secrets to success. Every day, someone is trying to teach you how to catch the next big trend or how to pick a stock that will go up 100-fold. It's madness. It's like walking into a minefield and obsessing over which step might lead you to a pot of gold, instead of first figuring out where the damn landmines are buried. Warren and I never play that game. Their entire careers have been about carrying a map of failures and carefully avoiding the areas marked death. What are these death zones on the map? Let me list a few for you. The first, uncontrollable leverage. Using borrowed money to bet on an uncertain future is the fastest and most common way to go broke we've ever seen. It doesn't matter how smart you are. The moment you use leverage, you give fate a chance to wipe you out with one small, unpredictable fluctuation. At Berkshire Hathaway, we always hold a massive amount of cash. It's not because we can't find investment opportunities. It's to ensure that no matter how crazy the market gets, we will survive. The ones will be the ones with the ammo to pull the trigger when everyone else is terrified. Second, chasing after things you don't understand at all. You guys have a name for this now. FOMO, fear of missing out. I call it pure idiocy. When you see your neighbor getting rich off some cryptocurrency you can't even pronounce, that feeling of envy and anxiety is a very primitive psychological tendency called social proof and envy jealousy tendency. You think if everyone is doing it, it must be right. You think if he can make money, so can you. This is a flaw left over from millions of years of human evolution. It helped us survive on the savannah. But in modern financial markets, it will get you wiped out. Warren and I have a circle of competence principle. We only play in fields we can understand. The size of the circle isn't important. That's critical, is knowing precisely where the boundary of your circle is. Stay inside that circle, and you'll do very well. Take one step outside, and you'll be in a world of trouble. Third, overcomplication. Wall Street loves to make simple things incredibly complex because that's how they charge you fees. They create all sorts of financial derivatives, name them with Greek letters, and make you feel like it's rocket science. But in essence, successful investing only requires doing a few simple things, right? Buy a wonderful business at a fair price and then hold on to it. Now, what's a wonderful business? It's a business with a powerful moat, the kind of business that even a fool could run and it would still be profitable. Take Coca-Cola, for example. Its brand is a deep, unbreachable moat. Billions of people around the world drink it every day. The power of that consumer habit is stronger than any complex financial model. So, you see, our secret isn't about picking winners. It's about systematically avoiding losers. It's like playing poker. The best players don't win by getting a royal flush every hand. They win by avoiding the hands that could cause them to lose their entire stack of chips. Once you eliminate all the stupid ways to play, what's left is naturally the path to success. Your life is the same. Tell me, what ruins a young person's future? The addiction to short-term pleasure, dishonesty, envy, procrastination, ceasing to learn. Okay, then I'll just avoid those things. That's 100 times more useful than listening to some motivational speaker telling you to chase your dreams every day. This brings me to my second principle, and it's one that goes against every modern instinct: patience. Everything in this era is about fast food, get rich quick, watch a movie in 3 minutes. Everyone is busy making moves, busy catching up. If you choose to wait, you're seen as lazy, as falling behind. You'll be consumed by immense self-doubt. But let me tell you a brutal truth. The big money is not in the buying or the selling, but in the waiting. Berkshire has held many stocks for decades. We don't do it out of some sense of brand loyalty. We do it because selling them would be an act of extreme stupidity. You own a business like See's Candies, which generates a stable cash flow year after year and has a brand beloved by generations. The only thing you need to do is sit on your ass and do nothing. Let the intrinsic value of the business compound like a snowball rolling downhill. I was young. I was just like you guys. I'd kick myself for missing some stock that shot to the moon. It took me a long time to realize that for every one of those opportunities I missed that actually worked out, there were 10 or even 100 that looked identical but ended in disaster. The media and the so-called stock market gurus only brag about their winners. They never tell you how many times they failed using the exact same logic, the patience itself, just like knowledge and money compounds. This is a secret that many people just can't grasp. The first time you force yourself to wait, it feels like torture. Once you've waited successfully and seen a good outcome, your patience muscle gets a workout. The next time, it will be easier. Over time, patience becomes a part of your character, a part of your instinct. If I could go back to being 25, I would tell that young Charlie, hey kid, whatever timeline you've set for your life, then multiply it by 3. If you want to be financially independent by 30, then plan your life as if you're aiming for 45. If you want to become an expert in a field in 5 years, give yourself 15. The why? Because the magic of the compounding curve, the one that can truly change your life, never reveals itself in the first few years. It looks flat, or even like it's going down. You'll see others taking shortcuts and seemingly racing ahead of you. As long as you stay on the right track, decades later, that curve will shoot upwards at an unbelievable angle. That by then, all the people who took shortcuts will be left in your dust. They were chasing linear growth while you were embracing exponential compounding. The question is, how do you know you're waiting on the right track and not just wasting your life in the wrong direction? There's only one answer: learning. You have to become a perpetual learning machine. I'm 99 years old, and I can tell you, not a day has gone by that I have stopped learning. Warren is the same. The huge portion of our day reading, not for entertainment, but because it's as natural as breathing. You read all sorts of things: biographies, history, science, psychology. We are constantly loading new knowledge into our brains. The fatal mistake many people make is thinking that their education ends the moment they get their diploma. That is, I can't find a better word than absurd. In today's world, if you stop learning, you're not just standing still. You're falling backwards at an incredible speed. The world is moving forward at a pace you can't even imagine. The skills you mastered yesterday could be obsolete tomorrow. My goal is simple and arrogant. I want to go to bed a little wiser each day than when I woke up. It doesn't sound hard, you said, but if you can stick with it for 50 years, the compounding effect will make you a completely different person. The Tadao, how should you learn? It's not about signing up for expensive courses or scrolling through fragmented short videos. The key is to build what I call a lattice work of mental models. You can't just stay siloed in your own professional field. If you're an engineer and you only think like an engineer, you'll look at problems in marriage or business as if they were mechanical structures. This is what they call, to the man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. It's a disaster. You have to learn the most fundamental, the most core mental models from all the important disciplines. For example, from physics, you need to learn about breakpoints and critical mass. Many changes aren't linear. They accumulate to a certain point and then undergo a qualitative transformation. From biology, you need to learn the model of evolution. The business world is an ecosystem. The companies compete, adapt, and get eliminated. Survival of the fittest, not the strongest, not the smartest, but the one most adaptable to change. The psychology. You must learn the 25 cognitive biases I've talked about. The void doubt tendency, which makes people rush to a decision rather than endure uncertainty. If you don't understand these, you become a prisoner of your own brain, manipulated by all sorts of subconscious biases. The repetition. From history, you see the repetition of cycles and human nature. Mark Twain said that history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The more history you read, the less impressed you will be by the new things happening today, because there's nothing new under the sun. You have a few dozen of these mental models from different disciplines in your head, and you can weave them together. You have a lattice work. When you encounter a new problem, you can place it on this lattice work and examine it, dissect it from different angles. You will see connections that others miss and discover patterns that others can't. The quality of your decisions will change night and day. That is true wisdom, not just memorizing a bunch of isolated facts. The beauty of learning is that it also compounds. The new model you learn today will have a chemical reaction with the old models you learned yesterday, creating new insights. After 20 years, the reservoir of wisdom in your mind will be enormous, and many of your decisions will become almost instinctual. This is why Warren and I can make a judgment on an investment so quickly. It's not because we're gods. It's because we've been doing these mental gymnastics for decades. Finally, I want to talk about an unavoidable topic, mistakes. In my life, I have made more mistakes than most of you have made correct decisions. I've lost money. I shouldn't have lost trusted people. I shouldn't have trusted and wasted precious time on stupid projects. But I never see these as failures. They are the most expensive and also the most valuable tuition I've ever paid to the world. Life is not an exam where you need to score a perfect 100. The goal is not to avoid all mistakes. The goal is to make sure that the mistakes you do make are ones you can afford, and that you absolutely never ever make the same mistake twice. But most people can't do this. Why? The root cause is their pathetic ego, or what psychology calls the commitment and consistency tendency. Once they've made a decision or publicly stated an opinion, They will defend it at all costs, even when there is a mountain of evidence proving them wrong. Admitting a mistake to them is like negating their own identity. It's an immense psychological pain. So they choose to make excuses, blame others, or just pretend nothing happened. This is intellectual suicide. My advice is kill your ego yourself before it completely destroys your progress. You have to treat your ideas like a scientist treats a hypothesis. They are all just waiting to be proven false by reality. You discover you were wrong. You should be happy, not ashamed. That because you just eliminated one wrong option and moved one step closer to the truth. You should say it out loud. I was wrong. This is what I thought. But the facts proved otherwise. And here is how I'm going to fix it. Warren and I have a habit that has lasted for decades. Whenever we make a failed investment, we sit down and conduct a post-mortem. We calmly dissect the entire decision-making process like a coroner. What key information did we miss? Which core issue did we misunderstand? Which psychological bias blinded us? We have to write these things down in black and white because human memory is unreliable. It automatically beautifies the past and makes you forget how foolish you were. You don't write it down. The painful lesson will soon vanish. That once you forget it, you are 100% guaranteed to make the same mistake again. So you should collect your mistakes the way you would collect trophies. Look at them periodically to remind yourself what a complete idiot you once were. The tuition you paid, not wasted. All right, the old man has said enough. Avoid stupidity. Be patient. Be a lifelong learner and embrace your mistakes. None of these principles are complicated. You could even call them cliché, de solo. But every single one of them goes against human nature and requires immense self-discipline to uphold. Success is never about some freakish talent or some secret shortcut. It's about taking these simple, plain, common sense principles and executing them to the extreme, day after day, year after year. These principles worked for me. They worked for Warren. If you are smart enough to listen and disciplined enough to practice them, then they will work for you too. Time is the most valuable asset you young people have. Don't waste it. Start now. Go build your lattice work of mental models. Go make your affordable mistakes. And then, with a lifetime of patience, wait for the rewards of compounding. That's all the advice I have for you. I have nothing further to add.